Welcome to episode 2 of Soccer and Sixes, the programme that shines a light on remarkable stories from the streets. This week, we're looking at the topic of gender equality, and we'll be sharing some powerful stories that have touched our hearts. But before we meet our guests, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Alice Rowe. Hi, Alice. How are you today?
Hello, I'm very well. Delighted to be here with you.
Tell me a little bit about the involvement you've had with Street Child United over the last few years.
Yes, so I've been volunteering with Street Child United for quite a long time. Well, since the beginning in 2010 when we were in South Africa. And then I followed them to Brazil twice, to Russia, and then most recently to Lords. So it's been so wonderful to watch the charity grow, particularly around gender equality and feminism.
Fantastic. And Alice, tell me a little bit about the work you do around gender equality and why are you so passionate about it?
Yeah, so I run Her Story, which is an initiative that uses art and culture to engage people with women's history and feminism that has been systematically left out. So as a young person, I realised that my whole education had been starved of women and non-binary people. I saw myself nowhere. So I started doing this research from women's history and I felt taller and bigger. I felt like I took up more space just knowing these women existed. And then the next logical step was to feel absolutely enraged by my school and the whole education system for letting young people down in that way. So I started running workshops in schools and cultural institutions to try and give young people this feeling before I got it. And now the project has grown quite a lot and I'm working with brands and institutions to creatively activate women's history. So I curated the visual content for the U2 World Tour, made a film with the Gates Foundation, and most recently I've been working with a tech company to work out if there is such a thing as feminist AI. So that's what I do.
How are Street Child United addressing this really important issue of gender equality in the work they do?
When I think about women and girls being included in Street Child World Cup, I feel so proud that that word included is kind of redundant because it's not about this kind of niche, this add-on, let's get the girls in. The work that Street Child United are doing centres women and girls. And that's in practical ways, like making sure there's women to officiate matches, making sure there's the same amount of girls and boys teams, making sure there's actually more female young leaders than male. And so I feel like they are centering women and girls at the heart of what they do in an ongoing way and in the actual matches. And you've got to do both of those things.
Are there any standout moments or maybe something you remember where you could really see the way that Street Child United were delivering that really important message of gender equality being at the heart of everything they do?
A powerful highlight that was kind of quite high profile was in the opening ceremony when we were at Russia. And all the teams were on the pitch and all us volunteers were in the stands. And there were many, many men in suits from Russia and diplomats and sports people all around. And the CEO of Street Child United said, I want all of the women and girls to stand up. That included us in the audience and all of the girls that were playing in teams. And he said, I want to apologise to you on behalf of all of the men here and all of the men in history that have prevented you from playing this beautiful game. And I want to tell you now that this game is yours. And it was quite powerful because all of the translators were translating it slowly so you could hear everyone comprehending what he'd said after each other. And then he said, please can we give them a round of applause? And all of the men clapped, all of the women and girls in the stadium. And it was a really powerful moment because it was a sign of intent, it was accepting responsibility, and it was a kind of beautiful moment for this is our future together. And I found that extremely powerful.
Alice, that sounds amazing. You're an inspiration. My goodness, you've got me all fired up today, just listening to you now. So tell me, what have the highlights been for you so far?
My highlight when I think about Street Child United in general is always this one story which has gone down in Street Child United history and Her Story as the Indonesia game, when this new country, Indonesia, was formed. So we were in Brazil, it was a girls' game, Zimbabwe versus Indonesia. And to be quite frank, Zimbabwe were absolutely thrashing Indonesia. It was goal after goal after goal. It was almost kind of awkward to watch. We were just all willing Indonesia to score something. And it was the second half at the very beginning, and the ball is just rolling slowly towards the goal, and the Zimbabwean goalie just moves slightly out the way, and it trickles in, and a goal is scored for Indonesia, and everyone went crazy, just like jumping, screaming, dancing. But not just the Indonesians, the Zimbabweans were celebrating more than the Indonesians. So the whole pitch was just like dancing, screaming, clapping. And it set the precedent that after that point, every single goal that was scored, regardless of the team, was celebrated by everyone. And they were chanting, Zimdonesia, Zimdonesia. And for me, they were just showing what sportsmanship, sportswomanship is about. It wasn't about kind of anti-competition or trying to kind of create a new way of playing. It was about being role models in care and empathy and the joy of sport. And I'll tell you, it influenced the boys' game, influenced the girls' game, all future games. It was about, we are bigger than this one individual country team. We're a team of street-connected young people who are going out there and celebrating for each other. And that was the girls' team that were championing that. And I felt proud to be a woman that day. And I felt so proud of those young women.
Alice, I love this Indonesia story, so thank you so much for sharing that. Now, we've got a real international feel to the show today, so let's meet our first guest.
I've been very lucky to see our next guest in action many times. When Drika is on the pitch or even just in the room, I love to watch the other young people around her, young people of all genders who look up to Drika, because she has that magnetic power and grit that is inspiring and is a privilege to be around. So I am so delighted and lucky to be joined all the way from Brazil by Drika. Hello, Drika.
Hi.
We are so happy to have you here. If you could tell us a bit about yourself, Drika, and what it was like to grow up in Brazil.
I grew up in a small village in the north of Brazil. I have a difficult life because we are very poor. Doesn't matter if I don't have like much things that the other kids have, like toys or things that kids should have. But I have love from my grandparents and I'm happy. So when my grandparents died, I had to move to Rio to live with my mom. So I was 13 years old on that. And the life becomes more difficult, because Rio is very dangerous and I never faced things like guns or violence in my life.
When did you first become interested in football, Drika?
I always say that I started to play when I was in my mom's belly because I was an exciting girl. So, but I started when I was 7 years old in the same village that I born. Mm-hmm. And then I keep in playing. I try to be a professional player, but it is difficult here because we don't have the same opportunity as men have. Yeah, I love football, and I'm sure football is such an amazing platform for connecting people.
Drika, tell me, how did you actually get involved with Street Child United?
I got involved in a social project in Complexo da Penha, and they make a team to participate in the Street Child World Cup. I was part of the team who represented Brazil girls. And after that, I became a coach, and I participated also in the Street Child Games here in Rio as a team leader, and in the Cup in Russia as a young leader.
So when I think of you, Drika, I think of you as the captain of Brazil. And I wonder, how did that feel when you were captain of Brazil at the Street Child World Cup?
Being part of Street Child World Cup was something that I don't have words like to explain how amazing it was. I don't expect that what is waiting for me, like love, family, and friendship. I feel love in the first time when I saw the others. Doesn't matter if we don't speak the same language, but the connection that we make, no one can explain.
you talk about that connection with the other street connected young people. And I wonder, as a young leader, what sort of responsibility do you feel to those other young people, particularly young women?
It is a big responsibility because, you know, you are the voices for all the street kids, like who faces bad situation or who live on the street. You are the voice for them. You are the platform for them to be helped. I am so proud to be the voices, and yeah, so proud to be a girl and to be the voices.
Could you tell us a bit about the safe space pitch that was built by Street Child United and what it's done for the young people in your area?
Yeah, the safe space, it is in Complexo da Penha, the community that I work on. It is one of the most big communities here, and it's very dangerous, of course. And it is a pitch. It is a safe place to play because when the kids are there, they playing, they are happy, they are making friends, and they aren't on the street, like to making bad things or, you know, seeing bad things.
And what difference has it made to girls specifically having that safe space?
It is a platform for them to play football, like with boys, because we have boys and girls, and not be bullying, not be like, not listen bad things comes for the others, because when they are in the safe space, they play with the boys and they respect them because they are good players and they are their friends.
How important is it for you to encourage other girls to play football? You know, I'm sure that the girls that you come across, they look up to you. You're a role model. They look up to you. How important is that to you?
Some people, when they think about Brazil, it's only, wow, football. But it is a country for football, but most for boys, not for girls. We don't have the same opportunities here. Like I said before, I try to be a professional player, but I don't have the opportunities. So it is one time in your life you have to choose, like study, work, or football. And you don't have enough time to play football because my family don't have money to support me. It is the same thing that happened with most of girls here. The family don't have money to support. And so, like, to be a role model for them, even if I don't being a professional player, to be a role model for them, it is important for me, and it is grateful. I'm happy for, like, they see me like an inspiration.
Drika, if you could give a message of hope to all the wonderful young women you've met through Street Child World Cup, what would you have to say to them?
So I would love to say to them to keep going. Doesn't matter if you have faced a bad situation, or if you have a bad life, or if you are poor. It doesn't matter about your color or danger. So just keep going, because like danger, like bullying, like being a girl and have bullying and like the difficult things together, it's like a rock in front of your dreams, and you have to move on. You have to move the rock on.
Drika, tell me, how did it feel to make it to the BBC 100 Most Inspiring Women list? That's a pretty amazing achievement. How did you feel?
I feel very proud of myself. I never feel before. So it is something very, very special. So anyone wants to be that. Everyone want to be that. So I So I'm very proud. I'm very proud about the girl I have been come.
Fantastic. Drika, thank you so much. You're an absolute inspiration to everyone. We think you're brilliant. So keep doing the fantastic work you're doing. And we want other young women to look at you, to see what you've achieved, and just think, if you can do it, then they can do it too. It's all possible. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Drika.
Thank you. Bye.
Street Child United have worked closely with Save the Children India for several years and are proud of this long-standing friendship. I'm delighted to welcome all-round Street Child United Shiro Pragyavats to tell us a bit about the work that they're currently doing.
Hi Alice, so nice to see you. And I will just take off from where you left. Actually, it's a friendship, like that binds the organization together. The friendship, the passion, the vision for street connected children. More than ever, we feel the issues impacting children who live on the streets and who work on the streets is going to assume a much bigger and significant challenge for their lives.
In terms of your work with Save the Children India, what campaigns have you been working on that are specifically focused on women and girls?
But specifically, we ran this campaign last year, which was called Light Up Her Life. And why Light Up Her Life? Because we literally were talking about lighting up spaces which make women and girls feel unsafe. In 2018, Save the Children had brought out a report called World of India's Girls. And it was a very unique study because it talked about the perception of safety for girls in public spaces, which is often ignored. And we are navigating the public spaces in a very distinct way that men and boys don't. And hence it has its own challenge. And it was just, of course, a truism which was well established through research as well, which said that 1 out of 3, 1/3 of India's women and girls feel the fear of sexual assault and violence in public spaces. And 6 out of 10 of these girls felt that fear when they were venturing into the dark, unlit spaces or dark alleys where there were no lights. And hence we wanted to really kind of say it as was, that light up a life, which means that we need to light up these dark alleyways so women and girls feel safe. If you're feeling unsafe, you stop going to school. So girls drop out of school. They are married off early because these are all perception of safety or their unsafety, which creates this whole mesh, which further kind of creates a divide. And it's a dual divide, of course, discrimination and they being women. So it's a double sort of discrimination of sorts that deprives them or rather locks up in a way so potentials that women and girls can have and can achieve. And only if they were safe, they would be able to do so much more. They would be out there conquering the world and fulfilling their dreams.
Pragya, you're doing some remarkable work out in India. I'm going to take you back now to London last year. What was your experience like at the Street Child World Cup, the Cricket World Cup in London?
For me, it was coming together of people and their aspirations and dreams and diversity. When I say diversity, I mean, you saw that because we were, as observers, we saw how children came together. It was friendships. So it was coming together, I would say, of so many different things. It was magical. So Street Child United and Street Child Cricket World Cup is synonymous with so many things: friendships, dreams, aspirations, changing the world.
What are your thoughts about the concept of mixed gender teams? Should cricket have mixed gender teams? Because you've had first-hand experience of working with both boys and girls, and you talked about the dynamic there. What are your thoughts? Can this be a reality?
Of course, it should be. We heard it from children themselves. You know, I still remember, even though we were Team India North, and there were 2 teams from India, as you would know, and Team India South won the trophy, the coveted trophy. And when asked as to what contributed to the win, I know that when the captain of this Team India South said that had it not been for the girls, we wouldn't have won this match. And I still remember when Lucy and Sony, when they said that, you know, earlier when we would step out and we would play cricket, They would be like, girls don't play cricket. There's a usual sort of, because there's certain, I would say, stereotypes, attached to what should girls do. And it kind of permeates in the behavior and the norms, and something that becomes a way of life for girls, where they're not encouraged to play sports as well. But when Sony and Lucy and Anjali, when they demonstrated the leadership and the confidence, probably something changed first within their family. Then we saw that changing within their community. And I still remember when they came back from London, and they sort of went back to their homes. Their whole community was out there to welcome them, both boys and girls equally.
Let's talk about the future now, Pragya. So what are the plans? What are we doing next with you with Save the Children India?
Street Child Cricket World Cup is to come to India, because ICC Cricket World Cup is happening in India in 2023. We want to make India bigger than 2019. We would like to see that happening, that India becomes a catalytic force and providing a platform that becomes an inspiration for other countries. One of the things that we are really, really looking at doing together, if we can have what I started out by saying, I would also end with that. It's a dream. It's a dream that probably in our lifetime, we are able to give something to the children who are living in the streets. And it is our moral responsibility as nations, as citizens, as organizations who are working with children, and a dignified life. And that's a dream that we are all working towards. Of course, only when we dream will we see them coming true. So our dream is to see the census for street connected children. We would want to see, ideally in this lifetime, each one of them getting what they deserve as their right, they having their voice above all. So yes, we are really, really excited to be working with dreamers like John, who founded Street Child United on that mission. So it can't get better. We are really excited, and we want to strengthen these friendships as we dream ahead to 2023.
Pragya, thank you so much. You are an absolute gem, honestly. I'm so excited. I'm literally counting down the days. We've got plenty of time to plot and plan and get all the great teams in place, haven't we? And yeah, really, really pleased that you took the time out to join us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pragya.
From humble beginnings as a Rohingya refugee to making it to the BBC's 100 Most Inspiring Women list, Jasmine Akhtar is the force of nature that has given grassroots cricket a fresh lease of life. Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure, to be honest, Matt.
Jasmine, tell me, how did you get involved with Street Child United?
It's a long story, to be honest. So, as you know, I'm in study. So obviously, I love studying. Like, I love to go to college and study. But then alongside to studying, I did a bit of coaching because of what has happened in my past, and obviously I wanted to help people, so like young children. So I was working at a youth club, like helping out, volunteering, and there was an organization called Centerpoint that has approached that youth club and telling us about all the good work that Street Child United is doing.
Why is the work of Street Child United so important to you?
You know, like how Street Child works with street children and like homeless people, like helps people. I feel as though that's my past. I mean, I've been through all them stuff, so I can relate more to it. So when we were at the tournament, we met so many people from all around the world. I don't know, straight after like 1 or 2 days, it got me back to that past that like I was trying to come over, because I believe past is what has made me. And to go over them past, I think makes you stronger. So like, it motivates you more. And seeing all them people, seeing all them children that came from all around the world has inspired me to be more like successful in life and do something for my community.
Jasmine, did you have any interest in cricket before you found out about Street Child United?
Ever since a child, I've always played football and inspired to be a football player instead of a cricket player. Because obviously at that time, although we knew more about cricket, because the street people used to play cricket with like a stick and any form of paper or something. Because obviously we didn't have the facilities at the camp, so we weren't given any kind of equipment to play as child. Like even to go to school, there was no like how we have a sports session. So PE that we did in school, we never had that in there. So obviously, alongside to that, like we didn't have enough money to buy all them equipment to play cricket, because obviously you need a lot of stuff to play cricket. Like it's not like football where you just go on the street and play football. But like I said, I've never played cricket, but I think coming to UK has changed my life completely. Like how I looked at life after 2014 is completely changed. And yeah, I got opportunities after opportunities for which I feel grateful about.
Jasmine, let's talk about gender equality. What does it mean to you, and why is having women in leadership roles so important?
For me, gender equality is a massive part of me. It's like, you know how I play cricket and I'm an Asian girl as well. So I know what that links in because I've been through so much things. So like, you know, I'll start you off from the beginning, right? So in 2014, right, my mom had met with a car accident. And I feel that is what has changed everything in my life. I started playing cricket, I was made the captain at the school and all. But what happened was, I think, you know how people say some people get jealous of your success? You know, I felt that because, you know, like when we start playing cricket, right? There were so many people, like society start pointing their fingers out, saying, why is there a girls team in our society? Like, is that right to say, oh, 13, 14-year-old kids going through all that? Like, your daughter should not play cricket.
And I saw your name on the BBC 100 Most Inspiring Women list. I was like, yes. And now I've met you, I can 100% see why you're on it. How did that feel when you were put on that list?
Me, I don't know. It's like, you know how they told me about it, and it just came along. I'm like, okay, just a normal thing, you know what I mean? Because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So a few days, I think I didn't even tell family. So I know this is a bit stupid to say, but you know they got phone calls after a few days saying congratulations. My mom were like, for what? Like, has there been an occasion or anything happened? They were like, oh, your daughter has been mentioned on the BBC's 100 Most Inspirational Women. And my mom's like, what? I mean, how did you find out? I'm like, she was like, oh, it's all over, like literally, it's all over. Like even people in Bangladesh were contacting my mom saying, oh, your daughter's is such an inspiration and all. And you know, you know what I would like to say here, like, you know how the people that rang my mom, right? They were the same people that rang my mom few years ago saying your daughter should stop playing cricket. So, you know, for me, that moment, I think I was the happiest person on planet Earth at that time. First, I didn't care. But, you know, when my mom got phone calls saying, you know, from the same people that has said so much things to my family saying, your daughter, why is that girl playing cricket? Why are you letting your daughter play cricket? Like, she shouldn't play. There were same people saying, oh, can your daughter coach her daughters or children or do this? I mean, we'll pay her if she wants, but can she do this? And I'm just there like, Mom, this is all about luck. This is all about because of the hope that we had. Because obviously my family has gone through a lot. And that was the moment where I felt, you know what, the things I'm doing right now, I need to keep doing it to inspire more girls into sport. Like how you said, gender equality, what I've been through, no one should go through it. And you know, after BBC's 100 women, after I've been listed there, I've been like invited to certain places. Like, you know, I've been nominated for the best sportswoman of the year in 2019, and some other unsung heroes and all, like so many. Like I feel as it's all because of Street Child United, because you know, Street Child United has given me the platform to put my voice across.
I was at Lord's, and when you and your team walked out, it was just like tingling. Everybody was just so excited and proud to see you all there. I wonder, could you tell us a bit about how it felt that day when you walked out onto the pitch at Lord's?
Obviously, first of all, I would like to say that, you know, just to walk on that pitch was like a dream come true for us. Like for them people that play cricket, they know what that moment is for them. And not everybody can go on that pitch and play. I'm a Rohingya refugee girl. I was never given opportunity to be at such platform because of who I am, because of my identity, because first, secondly, because of I'm an Asian girl. So you know, like how I say, you never get the opportunity to do so, and because of that, right, captain Team England and how I looked at the game has changed everything. So like it was like more like you need to be passionate about it because you're not playing for yourself, you're playing for the full country. You need to be passionate to lead the team. Like no matter what, we do want it, but you not want to like let the team down. Because like there are so much memories that I have literally taken from there, and from there it somehow made me the person I am right now, because after that tournament, everything had changed. So like how I looked at life, I will repeat this like every time I say it, how I looked at life, how I look at it now, complete different thing.
Jasmine, if you could give a message to some of the young women that you met during the Street Child World Cup, what would you have to say to them?
Obviously, I think hope is a massive thing that you need to believe in, because obviously, like I said, I've been through so much things. There's one, like I felt as though I've lost everything, but you know, in my mind, there was this thing. I hoped that everything gets all right one day. Like no one points their finger at me or my family, because like I said, my family is my world, and especially my mom. She's my world. So like, you know, that it hurts when someone, you know, like try to like say something to your family, and especially when you can't take it, you know what I mean, because you're so sensitive about family, like that's your weakness. And obviously you can't do anything, so all I'm going to say, hope is the massive part. Don't never give up, obviously, but you know, like keep that hope in yourself, because that will make you stronger.
Jasmine, thank you so much for everything you're doing to inspire other young Asian women to play cricket. Now, coming up, we've got a really special guest who's dialing in all the way from Bangladesh, and I think it'd be great for you to join the discussion with us. Continuing with our theme of gender equality, we're now really pleased to welcome Bangladesh international cricketer Janara Alam to join the discussion. And we have Jasmine with us again. So welcome both of you today. Firstly, Janara, what's going on in Bangladesh at the moment? How's lockdown life been like for you?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. And this time, actually, few days back, we had a lockdown situation. So now it's open by government. Good things is lots of people are getting well. So, but anyway, I'm happy because my family are safe and me also.
Janara, what do you think are the main issues around women not taking part in sport?
Lots of men are getting so many facilities, ground facilities, and financial support also from their board, and people also, general public also supporting men's team, any kind of team, that football, cricket, any kind of sports. But girls are not getting that type of support, not getting that type of facilities. And another thing is fear, that girls are thinking about fear, that most of girls are thinking that they're being judged by others, and also failure. If they failure, then what people will think about her? Family are always thinking about their daughter, that if my daughter not safe, if my daughter are getting involved in any problem or anything, then it will be big problem for her life, rest of life.
I've experienced it myself when I came to Bangladesh in December. I saw all that fear, all them kind of what she's was. I can relate it back, because you know, even in Bangladesh when I came here in 2009. So what I saw was like, you know, in here at that time everything was different. Like my personal community did not even like look at girls, you know, to provide them the platform that they need to showcase their talent. So, you know, I think that is the support that everyone needs, like how you say financial support. Like I said, to buy the equipment, to get the facilities, it's not cheap. You need money for all them. And if being as a community, you don't provide them to someone, then you have no right to say to that person, don't do this or don't do that. It's up to you to support them, guide them.
You both talked so powerfully about those barriers. And I wonder if another barrier is lack of role models. And obviously you two, both representing your national team, you are those role models. You know, you are the people affecting that change. And what responsibility do you feel in terms of being the role model?
Definitely, a professional sports person, kids need to follow them, because they can show the real life, the real thing actually to follow. I heard that lots of younger girls are talking about me that they want to be a Janara one day. So they think about me that I am their role model.
Believe that we need more female role models in our country. not just our country, in every country, because when a country wins the World Cup, obviously it's not a small game for them, it's not a small trophy for them. I believe as though it creates so much anticipation for the whole entire country. And ever since England has won the World Cup, I think that, like, a lot of people, not just men or boys, there are so many girls that looks up to cricket now, that loves playing cricket.
I wonder if either of you have any thoughts on how we can create this culture of equality that we're talking about. What can we practically do to make this sport more equal?
You know how we did the Congress with Street Child United, where we all sat together and spoke about the issues that we were facing, the things that we were good at, the things that we lacked, basically, according to others. I feel as though having them kind of session with each other will make that possible.
Janara, what's your take on that?
Actually, I think from sports perspective, men's cricket are more popular than women's cricket, and media also covering men's cricket and men's football and all lots. So where women's cricket and women's sports are getting down. So this is the culture actually. So if we want to equal these things, then I think we have to show our caliber, and we have to show our ability first by good performances and win definitely. And besides, media can take a good step also. They can cover women's sports a lot. Then it can be more popular like men's sports. So it also can be possible done. If it is done, it can be possible equally.
What's your vision for women in sport and gender equality in the future, Janara? What would you like to see?
I want to see women's cricket. It will get more popular like men's cricket. So then I think people buying tickets to watch men's cricket. They don't like to. Most of people don't like to buy tickets and watch women's cricket. So I want that it will be changed one day and very soon. So that is my vision actually. So I just dreaming.
That's it. And Jasmine, what about you? What's your vision for the future in terms of women in cricket and women in sport generally?
Yeah, I mean, I strongly do believe that, the numbers of girls getting into sport is increasing. Like, I can see it as well. Like, how from what I was a few years ago to what I see now on the outside playing, holding the bats I have. So, to this, like, about 5 years ago, I did not see any Asian ladies or any, like, less ladies playing cricket on the street. So now I coach a bunch of ladies, about 40 to 50 every Saturdays and Sundays. So you see that number is increasing. They're all housewives. They're not single, like they're all housewives. They've got kids, but despite everything, they want to come out and play cricket. I believe this is beginning of something going to be really great in the future. I believe this is something that is the start of to change the perspective or something. I do think that by continuing to support girls into sport will make a huge change to this world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, both of you today. Alice, I think we should set up a masterclass. So we get Janara to come over from Bangladesh. We'll get Jasmine to come down from Yorkshire and do a masterclass somewhere in the country, in the UK. And you can be the umpire, I'll be the commentator. There you go. So
I'm on it.
We can have an all-women commentary, production, cricket playing team and see how that goes. Thank you so much for your time today. Take care.
Thank you.
Alice, what a great bunch of guests we've had on this week. My goodness, how do you feel right now?
I know, it was an incredible group of women. I can't believe there was only 4 of them. I feel like the amount of care and love, generosity, achievement, it was just insane. I feel completely inspired.
I think it's going to be hard to follow next week. We've had a Bangladesh international on, representing her country. It's just been phenomenal. But next week, what we're going to do is dedicate the program to young leaders and the impact that they're making in Kenya, Pakistan, Egypt, and the Philippines. We'll see you next week.